right. Go ahead.
Alright, so basically I'm going to be telling you guys about why you guys should eat bugs today. I'm going to try to persuade you about that, but yeah, so sorry, hold up, I have a message. I told my mom I'd answer my phone if she texted me, so this is important. I'm sorry, this is embarrassing. Wait, Osama bin Laden's dead? Wait, have you? This is great. I've been waiting since 4th grade for Osama bin Laden to be dead. Give a round of applause. Come on, guys, Osama's dead. Oh my gosh. That was embarrassing. Thank you, Rob. That was decent. But no, that was if I was giving this speech right now, I'd be out riding. Osama bin Laden is dead. Give it up. Come on. Yeah. There we go. That's better. That's a lot better. What a great step for America. What a great improvement. One less thing to worry about. But I hate to break it to you, we still have a lot of things to worry about. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but we do have a lot of things to worry about. Luckily, I'm going to give one answer that's going to fix a lot of our problems. Entomophagy. And I'm going to help explain what problems this is going to help by teaching you guys about the 3 E's. Alright? So the 3 E's are economics, the environment, and efficiency. And with these 3 E's, I'm going to teach you, and you, and you, why we should practice entomophagy. First of all, economics. I'm going to start out this economic E by explaining that everything I go over today helps the economy. Entomophagy as a whole greatly helps the economy. But this example I'm going to give is just mainly the economy. Everything else, it still helps the economy. All the other reasons, they all tie in with the economy. That's why I'm giving this one first. But this example is a big example for the economy. So, here's a fact brought to you by the Cornell study. It's a Cornell study. And 7 billion livestock in this country consume 5 times more grain than the whole American population. So let's think about that. 5 times more grain than the American population. Now, let's say that we import this grain, per se. We get it from another country. Well, we're saving a whole lot of money if we don't have to feed our livestock that. Whereas opposed to if we breed bugs, they don't need to eat grain. They don't need all this food. They don't need 5 times the grain of the American population. They need 1/5 of that food. So that's a whole bunch of money we can save right there. Cut into the national debt, it would help us out a lot. If we export grain, then that's a whole bunch more grain we can export, and we're going to be making a whole lot more money. We're going to be selling a lot more grain, cutting into our national debt, helping our economy. That's great too. And finally, say we keep the 5 times more grain that the livestock are no longer consuming, then our grain products are all of a sudden cheaper. You go to Adele's, and rather than buying a $20 spaghetti and meatballs, you can get a $10 spaghetti and cricket heads. It's a lot cheaper, and so that's just one way it would help the economy. All these other reasons help the economy again, but that's a big one right there. The environment. All right. So by practicing entomophagy, we would save a lot of land, we would save a lot of water, and it would help protect our land. And I'll show you why. So, do you guys know that for every kilogram of beef produced, it takes 100,000 liters of water? Now that's just a ridiculous amount of water. Whereas when you produce bugs, bugs consume very little water because they have such small body structures, thus they don't need as much water, so it will save our country a lot in water. Also, 302 million acres of land in this country are devoted to raising livestock. Let's think about that. Animals are big, they need a lot of room. Granted, they may not get a lot of room because the meat industry is so brutal and they shove them into these small places, but nevertheless, it takes 302 million acres of land. Meanwhile, bugs, obviously, a lot smaller, a lot more concise, they don't need as much room. Obviously, it's going to take up a lot less of our land, which leaves more land to do farming, build businesses, anything. And then lastly, 90% of America's cropland is losing topsoil. That is because, let's think about this. You have these animals on the land, they're walking around, there's no plants, there's no trees. So the soil is not rooted into the ground. Runoff can erode away the land and make us lose all our good topsoil that can be used for planting crops and stuff of that nature. So I have a picture of Iowa up here. Well, Iowa is having a super big problem with this because they're losing topsoil 30 times faster than it can rebuild. That is a serious problem considering a lot of our crops come from Iowa and around that area. So basically entomophagy would severely help that cause. And also I want to add that unless stated otherwise, all these facts are from Cornell. So I'll have to say that every time. Efficiency. This fact astonished me, and it was brought to you by the Weight Information Network. But 68% of all adults are overweight or obese in this country, which leads me to my next point. If you were to practice entomophagy, the input to output ratio of a bug is 4:1, which means you'd have, compared to meat, you'd have to eat maybe 4 bugs to get 1 gram of protein, or 4 units of a bug basically is what it means to get 1 unit of protein. Meanwhile, when it comes to beef, it is 54:1, which means you would have to eat a lot of beef, a lot more beef at least, to get that 1 gram of protein, as opposed to a bug, which is really concise. Also, with the input to output ratio, it also shows that a lot less energy is required into making the bug, like a lot less food, a lot less work, a lot less space, and that's a very big reason as to why we should practice entomophagy. So why not practice entomophagy? You guys are saying, oh, I didn't like your 3 E's, those didn't make sense, I have so many reasons. Well, there's 3 main arguments that you guys are going to tell me about why you guys don't want to eat bugs. The first argument is you're going to say, all right, I'll stop eating meat, because it sounds like if I stop eating meat, it'll help the environment, it'll help the efficiency, and it'll help the economy. But, so you're just going to stop eating meat and become a vegetarian. Not necessarily the best idea, because right now, being a vegetarian is very expensive. I don't know if you know this, but it costs a lot of money. You try to buy all organic food, all fruits and vegetables, it's a lot of money. And right now, in this economy, with gas the way it is, I can barely afford to drive down the street and get a burger from McDonald's. There's no way I can afford to be a vegetarian, so that's not great. And also, vegetarians are shown to have malnutrition and a lot of problems with that. So, vegetarian, not really a plausible option for everybody. Maybe some people, but not everybody. Also, people say unintentional ingestion. What if something gets on the bug? What if there's herbicides or pesticides in it? Well, there's a very big argument against that. First of all, there's nothing that's going to be on a bug that's not going to be on your food. The reason the herbicides and the pesticides would be on the bug is because they were spraying food with it and the bug happened to be in the vicinity. Also, these are going to be the best, the cleanest bugs. I told you guys last time, mini livestock, they're going to breed these bugs for us to eat. They're not just going to go out in the wilderness and catch them. They're gonna breed these bugs to eat. So they're going to be the cleanest, the best. So I don't really think we have to worry about that. Lastly, the cultural taboo reason. I don't want to eat bugs because it's a little bit gross. It's a little bit disgusting. But really, are you not going to want to eat the bugs after all the reasons that I just gave you? After it would help the efficiency, the economy, and the environment? Be American. This is what America's all about, is change for the greater good. This country started out, there was slavery. They didn't count people as human beings, but we changed it because it helped the country. Women didn't have rights, but we changed it because it helped the country. Entomophagy will help the country. And that is why we should practice entomophagy.